Did you hear about this study about toxic metals being in tampons?
What? Are we all gonna be compensated for the tampon shit going on?
Yeah, it's been all over my feed too, and a lot of people actually commented on our other videos about this. I actually spoke to some researchers to find out how worried we should be. Basically, we shouldn't panic. I spoke to an immunologist who does a lot of fact-checking on these sort of studies, and she said that the amount of lead and arsenic found in tampons is low enough that it doesn't pose a health risk.
But how are these toxic metals getting into the tampons?
So lead and arsenic, the two main metals that people are concerned about, are already found in food, air, water, soil, and even tea. But we know that from previous studies. Now, this study says metals they found in tampons might come from the soil cotton plants are grown in, and that cotton is used to make the tampons. But to be clear, this is not investigated in the study. It's suggested based on those previous studies. They also say it could come from water during manufacturing.
Well, that still freaks me out.
So because toxic metals are all around us, there is a range of what's considered acceptable, whether it's food or water or air quality. And Health Canada regulates that with food and other products. Take drinking water. The maximum threshold for lead is 5 parts per billion. The scientists we spoke to compared the levels of lead in tampons found in this study to water to illustrate the difference.
Bottled water is 5 parts per billion. So assuming you drink 2 liters of water a day, that means that you're going to be drinking between 10,000 nanograms and 30,000 nanograms of lead just from water every day. And so that is between 10 and 32 times higher than, again, the lead detected in a tampon.
Plus, we don't know if these metals that could be inside a tampon can enter our bloodstream in the same way it can from certain foods or water.
How so?
Well, the study was done in a lab using an acid and heating up the product to a high temperature, nowhere close to what happens in the vagina.
They use 350 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius heat to essentially microwave it. And that allows you to look for very, very tiny levels of substances, but it doesn't say anything about the realistic implications of anything detected in those samples.
The author of the study also pointed that out.
All we've done is show that there are these metals present in the tampon, but what we don't know is whether or not the metals can come out of the tampon and get into the body.
She said more research needs to be done.
But weren't these metals found in all of the tampons they looked at?
Yeah, so they tested 30 tampons from 14 brands sold in the US and Europe. And that immunologist I mentioned who fact-checks the studies said the sample size was way too small. Plus, the tampons would have been approved by health regulators wherever they're sold.
So wait, there are guidelines here in Canada?
Yeah, Health Canada told me tampons are regulated as medical devices. That means they're rigorously monitored.
So long story short, do I need to worry about using tampons?
Well, the lead author of the study says
It's too soon to say at this point.
the scientist I spoke to says there's a need for more studies to show what's inside tampons. And those studies need to answer whether those metals or anything else in a tampon can actually affect the body.